Local Decision 2025 rolls on here on North Metro TV, and joining us now, Catherine Decker, running for mayor of Lino Lakes. Catherine, happy election season to you, and we'll right off the bat ask you to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and why you're running for mayor in Lino.
Thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure to see you again. A little bit about me is I have a master's degree in business from Carlson School of Management. I worked as a vice president of human resources for a couple of different software companies as well as a medical company. Thereafter, I got into mortgages, and now I am an independent mortgage loan originator running my own firm. So a lot of business background. I'm interested in running because ultimately I started out hearing the story of my neighbor Chris Stowe and his engagement with the city, mostly on the city's behalf, and how they kind of pursued him in conjunction with some other agencies, and I thought that was a pretty terrible story. And he was going through some stuff he needed to manage with the city, and I supported my neighbor. And I started attending city council meetings. I started speaking up for echoing his concerns with the at city council meetings at open mic several years ago, and have continued to do so, not just on his behalf, also on mine and other neighbors as well. I've also been engaged with the Rice Creek Watershed District. You know, they have a lot going on in the city of Lino Lakes as well as other neighboring cities. They cover a 5-city metro area. So both of those institutions, I think, have seen a lot of me over the last 4 or 5 years, probably more than they wanted to. But the intent of being engaged at open mic and keeping tabs on the minutes and the agendas as the weeks and months go by has been to really affect decision making in both of those institutions. And I find myself running for mayor now because the effects have not been as great as they should have been, in my opinion. And I've identified some things that I'm concerned about, and I think the solutions are evident, or at least if they're not can be achieved, they can be worked through. They're problems that we can solve. However, I'm not sure that we can solve them with our current people in office. Some of the things I'm concerned about, well, I just missed the last 2 City Hall meetings. So I spent some time this week going back through, looking through the agenda items, reviewing the content, walking through the minutes, understanding what transpired, and some of the things I'm concerned about. There's a development going in right in my backyard. It's called Nature's Refuge North. There's 60 acres, 30-year developable, and they're squeezing 94 lots, I believe, in there. There's a buffer between my neighbor's south property line and the first house in this development, but there's not on mine. Why does my property have no buffer? There was no plot there in the first place until it went to planning and zoning. Planning and zoning reviewed it, and they just added another lot. It never went to public. The public never had a chance to comment on it, and they just decided to add it. Well, as we're walking out of that meeting, the developer tells me, we're not going to build on that lot. It's just a vacant lot. It's just has a number. It's counted in the lot count, but we're not going to build on it. Well, it gets approved at City Hall 2 weeks ago. They're going to build on it, but why is there no buffer between my property and that property, but there is on my neighbor's side? That's an unfair development practice, in my opinion. It's one example of problematic issues that I think could be reasonably solved. There's also water capacity issues. We have lots of water issues, not just capacity in Lino Lakes. We've got water quality issues. We have water capacity issues. We have water treatment issues. We have drainage issues. In my opinion, we need a plumber on the city council. Chris Stowe's a plumber. I'd say vote for Chris Stowe if my opinion matters to that extent. The way I understand it, Lino Lakes is too close to our water capacity. And we've got, I went through the city's website this week and I counted how many residential units are set to develop. There's 101 currently underway, not built yet, but developing, and another 412 on the list so far. And if we estimate how much water demand those 513 units are going to command, we're going to be over our water capacity the way I'm calculating it. We were on a water ban, or not a ban, sorry, we were on water restrictions. You can only sprinkle your lawn on certain days this summer. It rained like all summer. That's pretty concerning to me. The park fees that we're collecting with these developments, just in the development behind my house, we're collecting a $3,500 park fee per lot. For those 94 lots, that's $329,000. The developer is going to spend $94,000 putting in a trail. That's going to need machinery to maintain it. It's going to need people to maintain it. And where does the rest of that money go? It doesn't seem like we're really protecting nature. I think that we need to plan carefully for this development. If we're pushing this development in before the infrastructure, the water treatment, or the water capacity, or ability to preserve nature we're building ahead, that's really problematic. If you go on the corner of 4th Avenue and Pine Street, if you cross that intersection, go north into Columbus, that's 4th turns into Joe Drell. If you go past the farmhouses, there's a nice little dead-end development back there. I don't know how many homes there are. I'm guessing 30 or so. Each home is on a decent-sized lot. It's not an acre, probably. It's less than an acre. But these houses have woods, they have forests, they have buffers between them. They can't see house to house. They're backed up on a big wetland. When the developer came in and they developed these houses out of this untouched land, they didn't demolish every single tree. They preserved as many trees as they could. They took down only the ones that they needed to make these houses. That's the kind of responsible development that preserves the character of Lino Lakes, in my opinion. That's the kind of development that's not going in behind my house.
So it sounds like if you become mayor, you want to, you'll basically be the compass for the city, that you want to go in a much different direction than the way it's going now, with some changes in the mindset. That said, along the development theme, what about Northwest Maine? Are you happy with what the city council has for a vision? And that's coveted turf. Do you like the direction they want to take it?
No, I don't. I think, the landowners have a right to sell to a developer. I understand that, and I support the landowners' rights. The city, though, is making a guess on what the developers, or, not necessarily who the developer may be, but what the developer may propose. I think the question to me is, does it represent, is that project representative of Lino Lakes as far as the rural feel of leaving the city and being in Lino Lakes, and those two places being different? And as I've seen the proposal for that section, it doesn't. It feels to me like Blaine. And I'm concerned about the drainage. The 1022 and Branch 4 all connect through there, through the sod farms, and there's some major work that needs to be done, and some of it's being done, but it's not enough yet. We're not ready. And we need to be ready, or it's going to be a major problem once developing that section happens.
And I certainly get, if you live in Lino Lakes, you want to keep that small town charm, that appeal, even though you're in a major metro. Is that realistic looking ahead? I mean, there's a Met Council 2050 projection saying 30% gain in population. How do you do that? How do you find the sweet spot with some development, but also letting Lino be Lino?
I think there are other places in the metro area that don't feel like they're all densely developed, right? When North Oaks comes to mind.
Right.
So it's possible. So if there is a possibility, then let's explore it.
What would be the first thing you'd focus on? I'm guessing it would be the development. Is that right?
Well, there's some other issues that I'm concerned about, and a lot of them have to do with how we're spending our money, our tax money, our taxpayers' money. For example, our taxes have gone up 7 to 10% year after year after year after year for quite a while now. But as inflation is happening, the value of our homes are also increasing, and we're taxed as a percentage on that every year also. If you combine those two things, I did the math, with about 11% increase from the city and home values going up about 10%, that's a combined tax effect of 22%. That's a concern. Also, the city started about three, maybe 4 years ago, the city started charging a stormwater tax to deal with the stormwater. So it rains, and then where does the water go? And the city wants to charge me a utility to manage where that water goes. But it doesn't go down a sewer drain, not by me. Mm-hmm. It goes into the dirt. When it goes into the dirt, it goes into 102232. That's the responsibility of the Rice Creek Watershed District. But I'm already paying taxes to the Rice Creek Watershed District. And now I'm paying a utility, well, even though I'm on a well, to the city to manage stormwater that the Rice Creek Watershed District is managing. That seems like double taxation to me. That's also problematic. Also, at this last meeting from the Lino Lake City Council, remember I talked about a combined 22% tax increase. This past meeting, they voted unanimously to give themselves a 10% raise for next year. So our taxes are going to go up 22%, and we're going to give the people on City Council a 10% raise next year.
So if you're mayor, you would not do that?
No. While we're spending $500,000 on a rookery every year, losing money, not paying for itself. We just spent another $90,000 on 8 treadmills. We're spending money like crazy. 2021, we proposed a water treatment plant for $18 million. It's not built yet. Now it's projected to be $40 million. And it's going to go up. Mm-hmm. It's not going to come in at $40 million. No construction project ever comes in, right? I mean, maybe one, you're lucky, right? So, yes, I echo what you're hearing. Development is a concern, but it's all of the things connected to development. It's the nature. It's the imposition on services, on police, on schools, on roads, on water, on fire, on all of those things. Plus, what's happening with the money? Where are we spending the money that we have? Are we being responsible with it? Do we really need to be making the decisions that we're making? For example, I just saw a big list where police are getting rid of all kinds of technology equipment. It's going to go to auction probably somewhere. It doesn't say where it's going to auction. That'd be nice to know if anybody was interested in buying it. But those pieces of equipment aren't that old, I don't believe. Now, I know technology changes quickly. Right. But there's several tens of thousands of dollars of encrypted radios the police want to buy now. Why do our public servants need encryption on their communication devices? They serve the public. They are guided by the Constitution. If we're all following the rules, we shouldn't need to encrypt anything. You know what I mean? And the public should be able to listen. It's called accountability, and that's real important to me.
All right, so we have about a minute left. Tell these viewers out there watching why they should vote for you, Catherine Decker, Lino Lake's mayor.
Thank you. I'm Catherine Decker. I am requesting your vote for mayor. Mr. Rob Rafferty has a lot of experience in Lino Lakes, serving on the council and involved in the city in a lot of different capacities. He's gotten us to where we're at. It's been going how it's been going. I think it's time for a change. If you agree, vote for me.
All right. Catherine, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks very much.
All right. She is Catherine Decker. She is running for mayor in Lino Lakes, and this is Local Decision 2025.